Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on Star Valley. This is a new mod map out by Truck 69. There are 2 required mods which download automatically. There are no custom crops, contracts are available, and there are 25 collectibles according to the information on the map. 298.06 megabytes to download. This is quite the transformation. The map looks like this, and I'll be honest, I was looking on the, I think we had this in FS22, we had a couple of trucks, it's not, we had a couple of maps anyway that had this, so we've got a couple of fields up there with the 6 and the 9. If we go across to our farmland on New Farmer, we start with the main farm here, which is this whole area, which is plot 1, 514,704, and we start with these fields here. So we've got olives, and we've got grapevines, vineyards up there, and we also start with field 6 or field 12, but with the 6 on it. We don't start with the other one there. Field prices are, I guess, about what you'd expect for the size. 432, 270. We had a couple of large ones up here. 691, 727, yeah, not crazy stuff. We've got a bit of forestry around this area here. We've got a quarry over here, which when you purchase it, plot 86, 145,020, there's a whole load of stone in there that you can take out if you want to. Now, like I say, I was kind of looking at that, I'm looking at the map, and I'll often look and see if I did a previous version of it on FS22, and I'm looking at the orientation, and yeah, fine, you know. And I jumped straight in and started doing my map tour, and it didn't dawn on me initially. Can you see what I'm seeing? There's no periphery, like no verges on this map. It's Elm Creek. Not Elm Creek, Riverbend Springs. It's Riverbend Springs. We've got a ferry here, we've got a ferry here, but it's not Riverbend Springs. I think I might even put on the description. The transformation is incredible. It is quite the transformation. Yeah, bonkers. Anyway, so we start here at the main farm. There's nothing under build mode in addition to the 2 required mods. Slot count is 1,466 on all 3 game modes. And I then removed all the vehicles and machinery, and I got the slot count down to 1331. You can probably remove buildings and stuff at the main farm. I didn't do that, but you probably can. I mean, we can have a look in a second, actually, to be fair. So we do start with the dog. Up there, we've got sleep and wardrobe trigger, and Walter is up there for conflabs and conversations. We have a workshop trigger here, and we do also start with a cable yarder for our forestry needs. Now, it does say in the description, this map will test both man and machine to the limit due to the vast unevenness of its fields. You know what? They're not wrong. And this is what I'm saying. I'm looking out and I'm thinking, yeah, it doesn't seem familiar. That's what caught me out. There's a nice little sort of pond area here in front of the main farm. We come around the back of the building. We do have some buildables around the map, various different construction projects. So here we've got a garage that needs farm garage 4, which will need things brought to it for construction. We come across a little bridge here, so our pond runs down to here. There's a little sluice gate sort of thing there, and it runs down off the mountainside. Very nice indeed. We have got an NL1622-2000 silo there, which is 2 million litre standard crop type. And then just here we've got a barn with our start equipment and machinery in, which, as I say, all 3 game modes we have. Fast charge for electric vehicles. We've got a couple of tractors. We do have a methane powered New Holland harvester, and we've got was this grapes? I think you can switch between anyway, but we have got a vineyard harvester. Through here we have got, you've got a pruner just there as well, sprayer for vineyards. If we come out the back of here, around the side, bale and pallet storage, 250 items. Horse pasture just over there, which can house 9 horses. We don't have any off the start. Chicken pen over there for 20 chickens. Again, we haven't got any in it, but it will hold 20 chickens. This is really cool. Well, we've got a trailer there, and we've got a grape trailer. But I like this. So we've got this raised section here for loading and unloading. We start with a lorry and trailer. We start with a forklift as well, hence the charge point. And inside there, we've got silage additive, we've got some net wrap, and we've got some feed, and there's a whole load of stuff in there. So we've had a delivery which is pretty cool. If we come over here, cow barn building with add-on pasture will hold 96 cows. If we come around to the side, this side of it here, that track there, roadway, leads down to the main road, which I'll show you on the map in just a moment. We're going to go out the other way, so I'll show it again later on, but just so you've got an idea of what that is and where it is. If we come around here, we've got a barn here, which has got a load of stuff in it as well. You do start with a fair bit of stuff. So, in here, bales of various different sorts. So these are fermenting. Straw bales. We have got sugar beet cut bales. We have got fermenting bales there as well, and we've got hay bales just here. We've also got skid steer loader with a bucket and forks. If we want to be using that, we can. We look out over here. Honestly, it's incredible what's been done. It really is. Now, I'm going to also say this, and don't shoot the messenger, I'm just telling you. We've got some piles of seed here and salt. Pile of seed, pile of salt, and plants are just there. Now, this vehicle you don't start with. I leased this because I thought it'd be quicker to get around the map than using one of the tractors, and actually the route I'm taking, we don't get to the vehicle shop till almost at the end of the tour, so it made more sense. So this isn't part of your start machinery, but I did lease it. Yeah, so I just want to say, don't shoot the messenger. I think this will get an update. I don't know how soon it will get an update. Often, once a map's been released and people start playing on it and find, you know, bugs and issues or whatever, they tend to report back to the map maker, and often within a couple of weeks. Sometimes maps don't get an update at all. They don't get touched afterwards, but sometimes they do. There are some clunky bits here and there, and there are some bits I thought, oh, that's a cool feature, then realised it wasn't a cool feature, it was something that probably will need tweaking. And there's some areas where there are trees and stuff across roadways and things. So let's say, you'll see when we go around, it's not something that you can hide, because on part of the route we encounter those things. So I'm going to go this way first, and let's get cracking now. Colour palette, lighting, all very nice. And when it says about testing your machines and equipment, it is, I mean, look at the terrain. This is beyond undulations. Maybe I should get a t-shirt on my merch store that says that. I've got one that says nice undulations. Maybe I should get one that says beyond undulations. We are so far beyond undulations, they are a dot on the horizon. So, if we head up here, olive groves we own off the start, on New Farmer that is, and we've got our 2 vineyards across here. Top of the hill, in front of us we've got the oil mill. Quite a big facility. Now, I will go back into and show you on here. So, all the things that are available, and we don't own anything but canning factory, cement, grape processing, oil mill, playground maker hall, sawmill, spinnery, wagon builder are all on here. But they have been, whilst not in the build mode as placeables, they're not necessarily the standard buildings for those, but they are in here. So, there's our oil mill. We're going to head this way, heading west. So if you imagine Riverbend Springs, this is the bottom of the map. It's not, I mean, it's raised a little bit, but not like that. I mean, it's quite, let's say, it's quite impressive. To our left-hand side here, we've got playground. So this is another construction project. If you bring stuff here, this will build a playground here on this site. There are a few plots knocking around which we've got placeable areas. If I come back to the map and show you. If we come to here, for example, people will often say, well, you didn't show this, you didn't show that. Some of them are just forested areas. This one, for example, you look and you think, okay, maybe there's a building on it. I do generally check when I'm going around. We do have some areas which are placeable. It looks like a tree there, doesn't it? There's a tree, maybe I'm just imagining things. And there's a few plots. I think there's one down here. And when you buy the plot, there's a shed on it, old buildings and sheds. There's a few bits and bobs like that on the map. So, we're going to take the next turning on the right, if I recall correctly. Yes. And we're going to take the ferry across. Now, this was one of the things, like I say, you look to the left and I thought, oh, that's quite cool. It looks like an old tree root, you know, like a tree stump. root sticking out like a bit of bark, but it's not. It's actually a rock face this side, but the back of it's showing. So let's say there are a few bits here and there, and that you can't miss that. You look and you think, oh, that's cool, and then I realised what it was, and okay, so yeah, there will be a few little bits here and there, but overall, I know I'm going to keep going about it. You know, yes, there are familiar bits, and that's the thing. I saw the ferry crossing. As I drove down, thinking, hang on a minute. I looked at the map. I was like, how did you miss that? How did you not notice? There's a lot of stuff that's been moved, rearranged, changed. The landscape's been drastically altered. But there are some elements of Riverbend Springs that remain, like the ferry crossings, that kind of stuff. But then everything else is just... Yeah, once you get across that, you suddenly think, wow, I can't... I mean, hats off to all modders and map makers. I honestly, I wouldn't know where to begin. It's one of those things that, you know, hours and hours, months and months, years and years to reach a level of ability and perfection to get some of the sort of things we get. And yeah, you're going to get that crossover from PC to console. And again, hats off to modders and map makers that bring stuff to console. They don't have to. And I know, speaking to Omatana and Cavalier Roy and Ross N Mods and well, all the guys I've spoken to about modding, you know, Yoss and, you know, Marnock's mapping, and like I say, tons of different people. It's not an easy process, and sometimes things get caught up in that, you know, that gremlins, the ghost in the machine, errant bits of code that somehow clump together and do something unexpected. It will happen. So once we've crossed over, we shall continue. Next point we're going to get to will be a great processing unit, which is just past here on our left. Now on Riverbend Springs, when you cross this ferry crossing here, you go up a little incline and you go to the start farm where water is, and you look out across that landscape and you think, it's not even, it can't be the same map. That's the clever thing. Ding ding ding, let's go. So, great processing unit to our left there. Now got a bit of a drive. When we get to a little bit later on, we head up to the spinnery, I think it is. And again, it's that thing of, wow, I'm just looking at this now as well, I'm thinking, it's that thing of, when you've got a full load with a tractor and a trailer, some of these hills, you're going to be down to like 2-3 miles an hour. So as we come up here, I might cut across just here. Yeah, we'll cut across. It'll be fine. I'm sure people won't be angry. Much. Manure buy point. Liquid manure buy point is just over there. Animal dealer and animal dealer sell point is here, but not Katie, which is a bit of a surprise. David is running the show here. Not sure how he got the gig, but he did. He was just slightly down the road here. There's one place we're not going to actually go to, but we can look down on it from above. Farmers Market, just here. Sell points. And we've got a little bit of a drive. It's the elevation change as well. It's quite staggering. We haven't gone that far, but we're so far up away from the river now. Take a right here. And we're going to be right up in the northwest of the map, where the field, which has the number 6 in it, that we own. On New Farmer, that is. That's just come up on our left, so we're right in the northwest of the map. So that's just there. They don't stop, do they? Now this plot here has got a silo on it. So that's the plot that's got, well, there's actually 2 plots here. One's got the number 9 on it, and one is a slightly separate plot. If I just pull over to the left here, go back to the map, so we are now here. Plot 72, that one there, 129,888. If we purchase that plot there, we get the silo there. on it, as he says, click on it, there we go. That's a grain silo, so 500,000 litre, that's one of the required mods, or part of the packs of the required mods. 500,000 litre grain silo up here on that plot there. Building next door to that is the dairy. This is not a production dairy, that is just a sell point dairy, just there. Continuing along, and then looking down to our right, down there, that's the canning factory down over there. Now, to get to the canning factory, when we turn down towards the... where are we? No. When we turned up this road here, towards this field, there was a turning on the right. If you take that turning, come all the way down to the bottom, that brings you down to the canning factory. I thought we'd be able to get to it down this way, but you can't. That's a river down here. And the road comes out and swings back around and comes back down to the river, which was a bit odd. So yeah, there wasn't actually a route down to it. But that's the canning factory down there to our right. Across the bridge and to our left. And this is where, like I say, there's quite a few things I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Interesting to have it on. Oh yeah, there was, I don't know if you noticed it. Oh, it's probably a bit out of order of me pointing out. Like I say, another reason we might get an update. There's a rock there. Don't you see the rock through the gap? Which is just floating in midair. Just over there. Levitating. So again, possible tweak. And then just to our left here, with the point being just to our right here, we've got the temple. So a Hutan Pantai bit on this one. So we can bring stuff here and build the temple. Like I said, there's quite a few building projects around the map. So that's the temple, if you want to build that. Onwards we go. Now if you take this turning to the right, which we're not going to do, but if you take this turning, that takes you to the second ferry crossing. Or the first one, depending on which order you've approached them in. If the other traffic's not stopping, nor am I. Rebel without a clue. I see some of these turnings. And the next one we're going to do is along that line, on that vein. Yeah, this one here, I didn't touch that sign. I've just got on the map. Watch the corner. Look at this. To our left, just there, is the spinnery. That large building there. So, where are we? Where have we been? Where have we come from? We started at the main farm here. Now that little roadway I said out the back of the farm comes out from the back of the cow farm down to this bit here, which we're going to get to later on. We came out along this road here up to the top there, and we took in the oil mill and our olive grove and vineyards. Along there to the playground build. Then we came down this way here, cross at the ferry, great processing unit, up to the animal dealer with David. Oh, that was, oh no, that was the sell point, yeah. Animal dealer David, yeah. Farmer's market just there. Just click off that. Then we came up there, and like I said, down there to the canning factory, up to that field there. We bought that one there with a silo on it. Dairy, canning factory, temple build. We come along here, and we swept up here, and we're now at this point here, which is the spinnery. We're going to head down here and round, which says we're going to buy this plot now. Plot 89, 160,560. If we purchase that, that gets us the biogas plant 250 kilowatt. That one there, although the number's very close to it, that's not for a silage clamps or anything. That is this plot here, 61. I think it does all the stuff around it. Yeah, so it does forestry around it. We're not going to purchase that, but you could if you wanted to. So we can actually follow this back round. Yeah, so there are some curiosities. There are a few little bits here and there, but I think overall, I mean, look at. So, biogas plant just in here that we just purchased. Plenty of space and room for activities. Actually, we did get the land, didn't we? Yeah, so we own the land, so if you want to put some extra bits and bobs on, you can. But there's no shortage of that, actually. We'll get to a bit later on. Don't know if you've probably already seen on the map, but a sort of placeable zone for building a whole industrial area if you want to. To our left, and we turn in here. This is the Grain Barge Terminal 2. We've got lime station just over there. So this is the sell point. But what the curious thing about this is, it's that thing of, again, I'm not trying to knock modders and map makers, but it's the grain barge terminal, and the facility's here, but there's actually no infrastructure out to the water. I know the ones on Riverbend Springs, I don't want to, you know, I'm liking it to, but I mean, it's on the same map. Whether the pipes go underground maybe and come out, I don't know, but it's Grain Barge Terminal 2, that's the sell point. If you take on a contract that says you've got to sell there, this is where you're heading to. Now, I know I referred to, someone again mentioned the other day and said, well, you just keep saying lime station, they're not just lime stations. Well, no, the thing about it is, on FS25, that the understanding now is that there's an evolution on. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. Well, I'm not getting the option to do anything with it. Oh, great, okay. Okay, sometimes these have the option for lime and fertiliser, not just lime, and sometimes these are refillable. That's not giving me an option. So they're actually an empty silo which you can fill up with lime, but that one doesn't seem to be. That's odd. Anyway, it says lime station on the map. Now, from here, we're going to go. Like I say, this is the route I'm going to do. It's as efficient as I could get it, because there is a lot of stuff it's almost like labyrinthine. It's quite a complicated map to navigate. We're going to turn down here. Now, the playground maker hall, where you bring stuff, and you can bring stuff, deliver it, and it'll pay you for it. Or if you buy the facility, this is the one that makes the little tractor trailer thing. I did it on the Riverbend Springs Let's Play. So that's here, the playground maker hall. The buildings around the back. So once purchased, you have access to that. You bring all your stuff. It will gradually make the thing over time, and then same as the wagon builder, and then it will sell. Now, this road along here is where I think it's most glaringly obvious what I was talking about with regard to things on the road. So restaurant is here. Now I think the restaurant is in the same place it was. It's one of the few things that is. Oh, actually, maybe the main vehicle shop is. But here, look. Now whether that's done on purpose and you're supposed to clear that or not, I don't know. But it is across the road. And there's another one just past it. Another couple actually. Now something I didn't point out, because I'm in the car. When I was doing my prep initially, I was in a tractor, and as you drive along some of the roads, there are some trees that are very close to the road, and potentially, if you're in larger tractors or higher sided trailers, you may catch your trailers, so you may need to do a bit of limb removal. That's the quarry I was talking about. So if you buy that, you've got all of that stone available that you can come and collect. It's not that expensive, to be fair, for the quarry. That being said, across the way, we have got the dredging boat, which is constantly producing stone. Now, what's interesting about the map, again, I'm assuming it was done on purpose, but we'll find out in a minute. Cement Works is just here to our right. We follow this road, and I thought, oh, brilliant stuff. So we'll go to the map. So follow this road along, and then just over there, we've got the dredging boat, and then this side, and we'll get to that. So I got to here and found, you'll see. I was like, hang on just a minute. What in the world? Now, it does say on the sign here, look, water level may rise without warning. No, it's not even a ford. That's really deep, and that's in the way. You can't get across here. However, on the map, if you buy plot 84, it buys all of that and that. So my assumption for that is it's been done on purpose to give you the opportunity, if you want to bridge it, to put a bridge across if you wanted to do that. I'm not sure if it'll work. So I thought, you know what we could do while we're here? Can't remember if it's under others or decoration or tools. There we go, bridges. I need to find one that's going to be long enough. Right, so overlaps another object. That's alright, we can deal with that. Let's do that. And is that long enough? Kind of. Oh, there you go. So you can. With a bit of tweaking, you can probably get it a little bit better than that. So if you want to build bridges across here, you have got the option to do that. That's quite cool. I mean, so when I first arrived, I was thinking, why is that a thing? Then once I realised you could actually buy the land and it gave you that bit that went across the water. Light bulb. Very cool. Anyway. So I'm going to do this slightly in reverse now, because the route I'd taken wasn't factoring in a bridge, so I kind of went back on myself. So now this is all a little bit different, but that's okay. I'll just read my notes in reverse. So up on the hill here we've got Wagon Builder, completely the other side to the map of the previous, like I say, previous version of that. That intimates this is just Riverbend Springs with a few tweaks. It's beyond a few tweaks. But Wagon Builder is just here. Again, you can bring stuff, you'll get paid for them. If you buy the facility, then you build wagons, and that's a repeatable process. If we come back down, we'll come to the dredging boat. So we want, where do we want this time? Down here. And again, the way it's all integrated into the land, it's very neatly done, very purposefully done. Like this, we got the pipe that goes underneath there, and you've got all the warning stuff around it. Goes out to the dredging boat, which is pretty cool. So there's your stone pile. So your dredging boat is getting it all out. Stones will appear here. So you can either get your stones here, but if you've taken your daily allowance and it's chugging away and you want more stone, like I say, there is that quarry across the way, so that might be useful if you want to use it. So past the dredging boat itself, this little roadway, again, we've got a couple of little things. But if we follow this, we can see the restaurant across the way. I nearly said something really weird then, because of the name of the restaurant. And it would have sounded absolutely terrible, so I'm glad I didn't say it. So, just here we've got the Grain Elevator Museum. Again, the 25 collectibles, I'm assuming are going to be the same ones that you have on Riverbend Springs, which will adorn the museum. So you bring all the resources to this, gradually build the museum up, and if you've done all the collectibles, the museum will have various different items from around the map for people to come and view. From here we go across the sawmill. Sawmill, I think, is in the same place, but again it does look vastly different. But I wonder if it's going to let me across here. Again, I'm not sure, again, whether it's intentional or not, I don't know. But this roadway, again, if we come back to the map, this roadway runs across and around the back of here. So Noah is over here. It is Noah, isn't it? I haven't switched it for Katie Noah. I put down Noah and didn't even check. And the sell point is there, and then you can run the production if you buy it and all that kind of stuff. But when I came along here with the tractor, I couldn't get across this. It wouldn't let me. Yeah, it's like there's an invisible barrier there. I thought I was hitting the spoiler on the chin. Oh no, there we go. Oh, that's all right, cool. Yeah, it wouldn't let me across it. I'm thinking that's peculiar. Why has that happened? Anyway. It's interesting that that element is still there, because I didn't check. I wonder. Go straight across. I don't think the other side's there. No, it's not. It's been removed, doesn't it? The other side. That's curious. Oh, is it here? Hang on. No. Oh, there we go. A thing. Anyway, so there's your wood delivery point just there. We come back up onto this road. So the question, as always, I mean, this is usually a thing of when you get a map that comes out between two versions of the game, I would ask the question, has it been changed enough to make it new and interesting to play on again if you've already played it? Or are you playing it for nostalgia? This is on the same version of the game. Has enough been done to this to make it different to Riverbend Springs? 100%. That's that trackway I was talking about. So that comes down from the main farm and joins back onto here. On the right hand side there, we've got a gas station. And on our right here, we've got all of this. So all of this is set in place for an industrial zone. We come back into here, we'll see all of this. We go to our map, you've got plot 66 there for 153,456, plot 67 for 163,176. Buy those, land's available, and then you can place down anything you like. Yeah, put in the whole load of new productions or facilities, factories, and all of this area is here as well. I don't think we can buy this plot though. This is part of... no, we can't. That's an interesting one, isn't it? So that's on the sort of, I don't know, so I always refer to it as the periphery, and someone said, oh, you should call it the verges, whatever you want to call it, of the map, but you can't actually buy it. That's a lot of ground you can't do anything with. Curious. Anyway, nice bit of detailing going on here. Main vehicle shop trigger is just there. This is the reset point for the map as well, and then our workshop trigger is just there. Ben is there inside the workshop. Obviously their customer support and liaison manager. From here we're going to come back out past all those. We're going to chuck a left at the gas station, and we're coming almost back across to where we were when we turned down towards the playground maker hall. So we come across the bridge here now on Riverbend Springs. This is where the which we're making the assumption of when Highlands fishing comes out on Riverbend Springs. This whole section down here you can't access. There are signs saying about whatever the, I can't remember the signs now say specifically, but it's kind of set up. There's big concrete containers, is that the best way of putting it? Anyway, tanks, I guess. And I think the assumption is going to be when the update comes out, when the expansion goes live, Riverbend Springs will get an update, the base game one, and that will become a fishery as well, part of the Highland fisheries, potentially. I mean, that's kind of what's been posited. So we went this side, and we went down past the main hall restaurant and out that way. This side of the bridge, if we come down here, we've got the warehouse and the warehouse sell point, which are down on this section of ground just here. Now I know I've been constantly referring back to Riverbend Springs, and again that's no slight on Truck 69. Loads of people use other base game maps as their starting point for building their new map, and this has been built, this has been changed and altered dramatically, but that's the frame of reference I've got, because as you're going around you're thinking, oh yeah, I remember what used to be here, what was here, what this looked like, you know, this ground wasn't this steep, this wasn't this hilly, you know, that's the frame of reference. So there's the warehouse purchase point around the side there, and then the warehouse sell point, if you've got stuff you want to bring to the warehouse and sell, is just there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the map. That is Star Valley by Truck 69. I hope you found all of this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.